Here's a video I've been waiting a long time to do. Just had to clean out the car first. Today we are going to look at the interior of the Gen 2 Rivian R1S. So I chose Ocean Coast as the color for mine. It is a very nice, very bright color. Turn all the lights on here. Come on. There we go. So this is the Ocean Coast interior. Extremely light, extremely, honestly, the brighter the interior, the more spacious it looks, at least to me. If there was one thing I would change, it would be the headliner. I'd actually change the headliner to black. If the headliner was black with the rest of the white designs and white seats and everything like that, it would be perfect. The white steering wheel or airbag cover on the steering wheel has got a lot of mixed reviews. I personally love it. Some people think it's, a little too much. Others like it too. For me, I'm a big fan of it. I actually like it. Pretty novel looking. So I guess we'll start with the front seat. Super duper comfortable. I was just sitting in it. Leg space is fantastic. It's in my kind of get out of the car position, so but immensely comfortable. It's ventilated as well. Ventilated, heated, lumbar support. All the bells and whistles when it comes to seats are in these seats. The neat part is on the back of them for your second row occupants. You have a USB-C port and a coat hook, or you can hook all kinds of stuff here. But that's pretty neat. That's on both front seats. I love the little design here. Quick little thing about this: if you were to get the Ascent trim, which is the tri-motor quad motor, this and other elements across the car will actually have a plaid accent. This is just the Rivian yellow. It'll have kind of plaid accent. Excuse the plane flying by. It's like somewhere above us. But yeah, you have these pouches here. Pretty nice look. Functionality. I haven't had a chance to use it because I'm driving, but yeah, all the doors have door pockets. Mine are filled with stuff right now. But they're pretty nice. You can actually pull it out like this, which is awesome. Compared to Gen 1, which I talked about in my first video about the car, we no longer have the default levers that are right here. Instead, it is a button. This, however, stays on the two front doors because of an event of emergency. Event of emergency for the second row, if I recall, I think you have to take this panel off, or one of these panels off, and there is a latch to manually open the door that way. I would prefer easily accessible manual latches everywhere, but I do see their reasoning. I think is probably for preventing kids from messing with it all the time. Go to the third row here. Get my umbrellas out of the way. So on the third row, super awesome. I actually rode back here for a short trip one time while my mom drove, and while she was enjoying the driving dynamics of the R1S for the first time, I was actually loving the back. The rear suspension, the rear air suspension is fantastic. It nearly felt softer riding in the third row than it did in the front row, and the front's already fantastic. This super comfortable. Every bump felt like a cloud. I was trying to stay awake to get a whole idea of the third row, but I nearly fell asleep several times. One cool thing about my specific VIN is, for most Gen 2s, at least that I'm aware of. Maybe it's in the scent, I don't know. Lights turned off, but oh well. Quick fact, you can tap on it to turn it on. Tap it once for like a low light, one more time for a brighter light. So these things right here, little storage. You also have a USB-C port here. These actually don't exist in Gen 2 right now that I'm aware of, but my Gen 2 somehow still had it. Maybe they are in the process of switching tooling or whatnot, or finalizing the Gen 2, but I still have this, which I'm glad. I like little storage compartments, and it's on both sides. Both have the same USB-C port and everything. Cup holders here and here. AC vents, which are great. Real easy to pick the direction you want it to go. Headroom is fantastic, honestly. My head level is about kind of right here, and there's still plenty of room, especially with the glass roof, makes it look super spacious. And speaking of room, like leg room is great. So right here with the seat kind of like forward a little bit, great leg room here. If I were to move to over here, where it's more, it's nearly all the way back, I believe, and I still have space in front of my knees and everything. Can pretty comfortably ride back here for a while. And again, the seats are comfy. To get out, you can either press this button here, or there's a little rope. There is a rope. I just remember where it is. I've hardly been back here, but you can press this primarily. One cool thing, to bring this back a little bit, if you bring this down, which most cars, it's a split bench, so like 60-40 or whatever you call it, where it's this side in the middle and then this is separate. But for this vehicle, this can go down independently, which I love. So you can have, you know, a canoe or whatever back here, or you want to pretend you have bucket seats. Since Rivian refuses to make bucket seats, you can put the middle one down. One cool little feature, I think someone made a video about this a long time ago, but the little latch here actually tucks away as you put it down. So it's up now. As I put it down, whoop, there he goes. Pretty cool. So now press that, helps you get out. I'm gonna get out now. The lever for forward and back is right under here, and then you can pull this to make it go forward and back, or you can press this button. This button does the same thing. It unlocks and then let it go for a second and it'll lock back into place. Pretty cool. You got the middle cup holder. There we go. I got the middle cup holder. Sorry, my left hand is not as strong as my right hand. This is great. I love it. I haven't used it yet because, again, I'm driving. But all the people that have used it say it's great. Let's see, what else? I love the design elements there. It's so nice. So, what about... There we go. A fun fact about closing the doors. It might seem like the doors have a problem closing, but it's actually not a defect. These cars are like the closest you can get to waterproof as far as I know. Like the ceiling is insane. So it's so much so that when you close the last door, you have to put some force in it. Otherwise, well, it worked that time. But usually you'll need to give it a firm push because you're fighting with the air, which I actually like that. It's a testament to how airtight this car really is compared to normal ones. Normal ones, as in Normal, Illinois, where this car was built. That joke was lame. All right, the trunk. So trunk is powered. It's a split trunk, so it's this is powered, then you have a manual tailgate. I love this, so I can pretend I'm a R1T owner as well. So below here, I'm not going to open it because there's a bunch of junk in it currently, but below here is what I call it the sub trunk, but it's space for a spare or tools or whatever you want. It's a huge space under there. If I can find a photo online, I'll put that up because mine is a mess. It's full of stuff from a trip I just took. If you were to put these seats down, you've got, well, before I put them down, you already have a pretty good amount of third row up space in the back. So you can definitely fit the groceries. You can definitely fit, you know, a machine or whatever you're hauling. I don't know. Put these seats down. Pull this over here. One, two, and now you've got even more space. And you can take this, lift it up to this little lip here. Now it's flush, so you can slide stuff up pretty easily. Back here is the subwoofer. I will reserve my opinions on the subwoofer for a later date. All I'll say is it needs to be louder. Over here, we've got a little control panel here. If I were to option the air compressor, which I did in my original order before switching to this one that had the large plus battery, the air compressor would be here. But for mine, it's just these two buttons lower those seats, and this is a 1500 watt outlet, which is awesome, and we even have a lighter port here. I wish we had one of these lighter ports up front, because if you've seen me on Twitter, I love to use my 2008 Garmin Nuvi, but it still needs to charge via one of those ports right here, because if you plug into anything else, it'll go into computer mode and just stay on the USB screen. So I've had to use that, but you know, I'm probably the one Rivian owner that wants to put a 2008 Garmin on his dashboard, so I won't fault him for that. But yeah, so I love this. This is pretty good, and he'll handle a lot of weight. You can sit on it. Nice headroom. Want to chill out on the back, enjoy the view. This view is amazing. I love it. This is where over there where there are some Arcimotos there. Typically, this spot right there in that corner is where most of my garage photos have come from. Like these, for example. I'll come at different times of day, do a little bit of adjustments on my camera, and basically none of these are edited. These are all, you know, live shots. Depending on my camera settings, I'll adjust the lighting a bit, but yeah, it's one of my favorite places to take photos, especially for sunsets like this. So closing the tailgate and closing the trunk. There it goes. One cool thing about the front seat, under here, you actually have a little storage area, because there's no glove box here. No glove box. None. Funnily enough, the R2 is going to have two of them, so basically they're making up for what Rivian R1 didn't have. So, open this up, you can actually fit some stuff in here. You know, registration, insurance, sunglasses. You can put some stuff in there. There's also a drawer down here where I have some water, some mints, and my 2008 Garmin Nuvi, which I haven't been used because I need a lighter port. Put that back there, bam. Yeah, here's a wireless charger here. As most Rivian owners agree with, it's not the best. Phone's always slipping off of it. I right now just use a charger plugged into the USB port there, and just plug my phone in the old-fashioned way. Can I get in there? Whoops. There you go, you saw nothing. Cup holders pop out like that. Pretty good, really sturdy compared to most that pop out. What else? That's how the levers look for changing your seating position. Oh, I know. Let's do a quick look on space with all the seats down. So let me take my chair out of the entry position so that the seats will actually go down. There we go. And I should probably grab my backpack so it doesn't crush my laptop. Stay. So we already put the third row down. This gives an opportunity to use these buttons here. So this one does the left one. So I press that. Bam. And this one does the right one. Press that. I didn't press it, sorry. Press that. There it goes. And you have plenty of space. A few days ago, I hauled back some wheels for my old Model 3 upgrade project. It was filled with wheels and tires. And it did it perfectly. I technically had space for more stuff, but I picked up my other upgrades about a week prior, which was a trunk retrofit for a power trunk retrofit, the aero inserts for the wheels, new spoiler, and a few other things. Hopefully you can hear me. Now the plane is passing by. But so that's how it looks with the seats down. One thing I forgot to talk about is the back screen. It's currently locked because someone that was riding back there kept touching it and messing with the radio, so I locked it. So let's go here, switch, rear display, unlock. So here's how the rear display looks. You've got lock, unlock. Pretty cool. All the seat heaters for, I think this is for second and third row. Does third row have seat heaters? That's great. Got a compass, shows your live compassness, if you will. You've got outlets. So there's an outlet under here. Can't turn the flash on, but there is an outlet under here. You can set a timer for how long you want it, or from the front you can have it set to auto, so it'll just turn the outlets on whenever you plug something into it. So I have to at times come back and turn that on every few days, but it's been pretty good so far. You can control the music from here, Bluetooth, lights, turn the lights on, Bluetooth shows my phone, and this is the hotspot. Right now it's turned off. You can turn the hotspot if you want. So that's basically the third row. If you turn off the second row screen, if you lock it back again, it shows gear guard. So try to tap it, like, hey. So pretty cool. There you go. Let's move on to the front screen, shall we? So we got the two front screens. There we go. My seat back to normal. So these two displays are very, very versatile, honestly. Especially coming from Model 3. The center screen in Model 3 has everything you need, but there are things that are hidden behind menus that I don't really want to be, or the UI or ergonomics of it just doesn't really fit, at least for my opinion. Your mileage may vary in how you like to interact with your vehicles. So this is kind of the drivetrain screen. You can select your drive modes. I have the regular dual mode. If I had a dual performance or any of the other higher ones, there will be a sport mode as well, but I don't have that yet. You can change from all-purpose, snow, all-terrain, sport if you have it. You can adjust your suspension settings, suspension height, how you want your ride to feel, firm, normal, and soft, your region, and your stability. Over here, you either have your music, and it shows up right there when you're on the GPS as well. Well, if I were playing it, if I played the music, there it is. If you go here, you can actually swipe like this. You get a whole suite of other things you can look at. So you got you got the compass here, you've got your incline, you've got your temperature up here up top, you have your elevation, Your battery temperature right now is 63 degrees Fahrenheit. Makes sense. It's in the 50s right now. Oh, we just dropped a degree. We just saw it live. Anyway, you got motor temperatures. Front one is warmer than the rear. That makes sense because the front motor works more than the rear motor, especially on these enduro units. When you accelerate, and it actually shows your acceleration right here. Let me see, is everything closed? Okay, let me move my backpack so I don't crush it. But let me demonstrate what I mean. So if I go forward, see it shows the motor inputs, and eventually it'll just turn off. It'll turn off the rear motor and just use the front. Reverse, go back in my parking spot so I don't leave my backpack unattended. There we go. So it'll show you your motor inputs and show you when a motor is being used and when it's not being used and when it's regenning. You can also see your steering wheel position, or if you're relative to your actual wheels on the outside, which is great if you're doing rock crawling or something where you need that precise control or knowledge on where your tires are. You got tire pressures here. You've got your trips A and B, and it shows your average efficiency as well as your average consumption on your battery. I forgot there is also towing mode. I'll probably do a video next time I tow something. But yeah, so that's the drivetrain menu. Go to the HVAC menu. We've got plenty of controls here too. We got the main power for the AC controls. We have heated mirrors, heated steering wheel, pet mode. Get back up there. You got climate schedule. You can turn on and off the compressor with this one. Sync will sync the temperature across the dual or a tri-zone setup. I forget which one it is. Auto will, just like any other car with auto, stay. Fan speeds there. You can click all of the vents like this. So if I turn it back on, so you can drag them around where you so please, and you'll see it actually move as I drag it, which is pretty cool. There's presets, so if I put my preset on, it'll put them ready to go, and it starts adjusted. You can close and open vents from this screen. You can hit the windshield defroster. You got the mirrors on each side. You got the footwell cooler or heater, depending on what you want. You can tap on the seats for the seat heater, which is right here. You also have seat ventilating, which is what I use most of the time because I live in Florida. You got a middle. Now you can look at the middle, see the middle is blowing from the center console. You can also turn on the footwell vents down there. You can click on each seat to turn on the heater as well. Oh yeah, third row does have seating. It's nice. So 3 taps is cycling through all the levels of heat. You tap this to turn on or turn off the rear. And then the third row is just based on, are the vents open or closed? There you go. So when the middle is on, the back is on, and it takes the same temperature from the middle, I believe. Yeah, so that's the HVAC settings. Turn the back off. Now you can go down. Go ahead. There you go. So yeah, navigation. Navigation is pretty good. It could be better in some ways. Sometimes it's a bit laggy. You can look at chargers nearby. All different settings there. Not go too deep. I'll probably do a separate video on the map stuff itself, so I'll be pretty basic with this section. What else we got? We got cameras. So there's this bird's eye view cam, which my door is open. That's why it was kind of wacky. I closed the door. There you go. You can even see the lights on the ground. I love that. And you also have this view. I use this view most of the time. Has cameras on the mirrors. for front and back. Hello, backpack and umbrellas. That's a great sunset back there. Holy cow. This is material for one of my photos. You can pretend this is me taking a photo. Look at that. Beautiful. Maybe I'll take a legit one later on. So we looked at cameras. What else we have? I went through some of the settings in my lights video. I'll turn show and tell back on, which you go to service, show and tell, and that turns all the lights on outside, so it looks cool even if it locks. Yeah, oh, we got hotspot control here. Oh, if I can focus. There we go. Hotspot control, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, temperature, cellular if you have the subscription, time, and it also obviously tells you if the passenger airbag is on or off, if someone is actually sitting here. Lock and unlock. Yeah. Over here is pretty cool. If you press and hold these buttons here, you can switch between different screens. So you got the music player, you've got the tire pressure, and you've even got your efficiency graph, or the last 15 minutes average of your efficiency. And as even no matter what screen you're on, it'll actually prompt the song you're listening to. If you change songs, like and you got volume there too. So I'm on here. I change songs, and it pops up there, so you see what you're listening to. You got obviously your gear selection. This shows your current suspension setting. Right now it's in neutral, and if it's blinking, it means it's trying to reach the setting you want it to be at. You'll see different errors or your light settings down here. And as far as the stalks, unlike Tesla, we have signal stalks still. So we got the shifter stock, which Tesla doesn't have either anymore. My old Tesla has it, and I love it for that. So we've got the shifting stock, park, reverse, neutral, drive. You can double pull for Driver Plus or single pull for adaptive cruise control. Over here, you've got obviously the signals, you've got your wiper settings and your light settings. The steering wheel buttons, apart from what I showed you on here, can also scroll through your music. One tap is skip a song, one tap this way is go back. A little dodge start. Over here, these are mainly for adjusting your Driver Plus speed, which could be used for more. I hope, like Tesla, they let you map different commands to these buttons, because they could definitely be useful. Here is the white airbag cover. Gen 2s, from what I know, have better horns, but mine doesn't have it. Similar to how I still have this storage compartment back here. I also have the old horn, and the Rivian horns sound embarrassing. Big 8,000-pound SUV, and it sounds like this. Why did they put a clown car horn in here? Like, come on, guys. Especially the R1T. R1S is bad enough, but imagine this is an R1T. You're in a super versatile pickup truck, and then your horn sounds like this. So yeah, the new Gen 2s, at least that I've heard, my friend Jose's Gen 2 Trimax has a much better horn, an actual dual tone horn like it should be, and not this. So yeah, so that's the steering wheel. Steering wheel obviously turns as it hopefully should. If your steering wheel isn't turned, you should probably get that checked out. There is interior lighting as well, ambient lighting. You can see it more as it gets darker. You can hardly see it during the day. And you can set different colors. Whoops. Auto, okay. So you can set different colors for it. Mine is currently an Alpine Lake. and all the different themes have their own different little color as well. These are all different colors, but the camera isn't like showing it too well. There we go. So there are different colors you can set to. I used to have it on Pacific Sunset for a while, kind of a reddish orange look. Keep in mind that the camera makes it look brighter than it actually is. In real life, it's pretty faint, and I hope they can bring it up higher, because unless it's, you know, nearly nighttime, like completely no sunlight outside, you can't really see it. And this is with the brightness all the way up. I hate iPhone autofocus. There we go. So yeah, you have a bunch of different ones. You have Pacific Sunset, you have Canyon Glow. All of them play different sounds. I'll turn it up so you can hear them. So Pacific Sunset, Canyon Glow, Desert Snow, Glacier Fog, Forest Valley, Alpine Lake, and finally Twilight Trail. So yeah, a bunch of different, and there was another one, I think, in the Halloween update, if I recall, that was like a real red looking one, because the orange one shows up as kind of red in the camera, but honestly it's definitely more of an orange. Let's see, up here we've got our hazards, microphone, and our SOS button. In Gen 1's, the SOS button was just the SOS button, so if I press it, it would send an SOS. But in Gen 2, you press it, and it actually unlatches a cover to press the real button, which is great, because I'd hate to be just reaching for my hazards and I accidentally hit the SOS button. That would be pretty problematic. Just like the rest of the lights around the car, you can tap to turn them on once for low, another one for bright, and one more time to turn it off. We've got you got the sun visors. Need it sometimes. Hello, you see the camera. And not in my config. I could have gotten it, but I chose not to. But you can get dynamically adjusting glass roof, so it'll dynamically or electronically go from a frosted look to a clear look. I like to always see out of my glass, so I didn't really see the point in getting that, but for some people it might be awesome. Any Ascent trims, which is the quad or tri, have that standard. And again, I could have gotten mine. It was an option to spec on mine, but I chose not to, just because I didn't think I needed it. But yeah, I think that covers basically everything on the interior. Here's what the back looks with the seats down from right here. But yeah, let me know if there's anything I missed or that you want to know about in the interior. And I hope you enjoyed this video. This is just hitting 35 minutes, so hopefully it wasn't too long. If it is, let me know. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video.